Hello there, running ears. It's Manny again, and first of all, I want to apologize. My eye's a little bit off right now. It's allergies. No, nobody hit me. I promise you that. No, it's allergies. It's just been getting on me the last few days. I've been taking some medicine. It's actually getting better, and I should be ready to go. I leave tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm wearing my inaugural Dopey shirt. This was the first ever Dopey, and I also have this cap. This was the first ever run I ever did. It was at Disneyland about 16 and a half years ago, 2008. So this cap is old. It's falling apart and everything, but I still keep it because it's the only thing I really have besides the medal of the first ever Disney run. I took it for granted. It didn't keep anything, didn't really even take pictures, so it was kind of weird. But anyways, so I'm gonna do a video today because we are gonna be leaving. I'm gonna give you some information, last minute information, some tips and tricks, just in case you need it. It's worth listening to. Keep your eyes out on Facebook and Instagram in case anything drops. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I'll be leaving again tomorrow, Monday the 6th. So I'll be at Disney World starting tomorrow. And anything that I hear, I'll let you guys know. But let's get started. But before we do, very quickly, please, if you have not, please subscribe to the channel. Again, if something drops, some news drops, I'm going to go ahead and say it real quick here. I'll try to do videos here, and then of course I'll be on social media. But thank you very much. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and then you can also see the runs afterward. So let's move on. So first off, I wanted to do this video because I see a lot of misinformation going on out there. And the thing is, I really don't think a lot of people are trying to be mean. Everybody, or trying to be deceitful, I should say. What they're trying to do is they've experienced something, and so it wasn't a great experience, so then they try to bring it out. And I just don't believe so, or they misinterpreted something that has been written. That's why we go over the digital event guide. So my first thing that I want to go over is, please, if you have any questions after watching this video, go to the digital event guide. I always tell people this, and I say this, I do not work for Run Disney. I do not work for Disney. I'm just an enthusiast. I've been doing it from 2008, and so I've been reading these, and I do read them all. I do a video doing reading it all. So when I hear these questions asked online, a lot of times I'm thinking to myself, the answer is right there, and they're asking. And then the sad part about it is there's people giving misinformation. Now, a lot of times it's called experience because they were able to do something and get away with it for whatever reason. But again, they're not following the rules, and there's a thing called enforcing the rules. And Disney at any time can enforce the rules. I always use this one, and I still remember this. It was, I believe, 2001. It was Wine and Dine. We had just come back, and somebody asked, when are you completely safe from being swept? And the lady asked this. Somebody actually posted there going, as soon as you get into Epcot, you're safe. They're not going to sweep you. She took this at Bible. She got into Epcot, went in there from her post. She actually went to go get a drink, and then she got on a ride, and when she came out, it was closed. And she was upset. People were actually bashing Disney. And I sat there going like, no, that's not the way it works. You fell behind. You were breaking the rules. It's up to them to enforce it. So the way I look at it is, go ahead and read the digital event guide. Will they break the rules, bend them a little bit, maybe, to accommodate stuff? Maybe, but it's not up to me. It's not up to anybody on social media. It's up to the officials that run Disney. And guys, I'm going to say this, they are not mean for enforcing the rules. They're just enforcing the rules because guess what? If one person breaks the rules, the person sees them, then the next person's going to break the rule. The next person's going to break. And then if he did it, and then so forth and so on. And the next thing you know is, why do you have a rule? So again, please follow the rules. If you have any questions about it, go to the digital event guide. If you have questions after that, and I can't answer them, there's a lot of them I'm not going to be able to answer, go straight to Run Disney, the information booth, and ask them there at the Expo. And that's the first part. So remember this. The first thing I'm going to tell you is make sure you familiarize yourself with the digital event guide. So the next thing I've been seeing a lot of, and it just seems, and I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the same thing I am, a lot of people are asking if they can transfer, give, sell, whatever it is, their bib. And that is not allowed. Again, going back to the digital event guide, it basically says there you cannot do this. You can be banned. The keyword is can, depending on the situation. If you're an innocent bystander that just accidentally bought one, maybe they might not ban you, but there is people out there that do have bad intentions. I don't think there's a lot of them. I think a lot of the people that are trying to resell them are legitimate. But again, what people don't understand is if they allowed people to transfer, you would never get a bib. They would all be transferred. Or I should say, you would pay a lot more for your bib. If you think registration is bad for Disney World Marathon, Princess, Wine and Dine, they're going to be even more outrageous. Resellers are going to buy as many as they can, and then instead of paying $450 for a 2-course challenge, you're going to be paying $900, $1,000. And again, I always say that scenario, just go ahead and run with a charity. That's going to be, at least the money is going somewhere pretty good there. But that's why they do not allow transfers. If you have any questions at all because you got hurt, there was a death in the family, and I feel so bad because I did read something about that today, and I feel so bad. I hope to God that everybody's okay and everybody's fine. But if you have something like that, please reach out to Run Disney directly. Do not post online and ask what to do. Again, we're not representatives, so we cannot tell you exactly what to do. We can feel for you. We can be there to help you out with your whatever emotions you're going through. But Run Disney themselves are the ones that are going to be the ones that determine what goes on with your race bib or not, whether they can refund you, give you a gift card, whatever it was. There's not going to be a deferral. They're not going to transfer it over to anybody else, but they might be able to do something a little bit less than expected. But that's it. But there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So if you see this, report it to the moderators. I do not let it on the Run in Ears page, but I am a moderator in a couple of other pages, and I see it quite a bit. So I delete the post over and over and over, and I give them a warning that they cannot do this. Again, I think a lot of them are legit, but I'm not there, so I don't 100% know. I just don't want somebody to resell something, they get in trouble, or even worse, they're going to lose their money no matter what. So that way you don't fall for that. Go about it the legitimate way. So now we're going to talk about the weather. Somebody actually reached out to me this morning asking me, hey, can you go over the weather? I was planning on it, so let's go ahead and do it. So you could basically see what it is right now. So you're going to see that there is cold weather on Wednesday for the Expo, Thursday for the 5K, Friday for the 10K. Saturday seems to warm up a little bit, and then all of a sudden on Sunday it gets cooler again. I've always said this, the cooler the better when it comes to running, especially the longer distances. The 5K and the 10K, guess what? You're going to be cold the whole time, it looks like. Again, things can change, but as of now, it looks like it's going to be cold. The half marathon also looks like it might be some rain. So a lot of people, actually a few of you have started asking me, going like, will they cut the course? I don't know. It's not up to me. So there is a chance that they can cut the course. Remember last year, the inaugural 7.1 half marathon that we ran because of the chances of lightning storm. And if I want to go back even further, 2017, I was there when they completely canceled the half marathon. So there was no run. It was raining all day. It wasn't the fact that it was raining, but it was chances of lightning storms. If there is rain, we will run. We're going to run. We ran the marathon last year in the rain. We ran parts of the half marathon in the rain. We've run races in the rain. Where there is chances of lightning or lightning storms, they will modify like they did last year, or they will cancel. So that's the only one that looks right now is looks like Saturday. Looks like 50% chance of rain. Again, I am not a weather person. What I suggest that you do is every day start looking at the next day, and hour by hour. The big determinant is going to be when you walk out of your room. When you walk out of your room, it might even say that you might even think that it's going to be real cold. You walk out and it's a little bit warmer, a little bit warmer than it should be. Or it's going to say it's warm, like Saturday. You walk out and all of a sudden, wow, okay, this wind is killing me. And so it just depends. But just always remember this also, when it is cold, or when it's not even that cold, but it's raining and it's windy, it will seem colder. So I do recommend, because we're going to talk about packing next, is at least to take some kind of disposable raincoat that you can, something that's plastic that you can see your bib. but you can carry it with you. I suggest the ones at Walmart. They're like $2 or $3. You can get them in the hunting section. The ones in the regular section I think are a little bit more expensive, but the hunting sections, they're just in a little package. You can pick them up, you can take them with you, put them on there, at the very end take them off. Will they give Mylar blankets if it gets too cold? My guess is yes, they will give you one. So we're going to talk about packing next, but that's basically the weather. What do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to stay more or less to what we've been seeing. I think it's going to be cold, mainly for the 5K and the 10K. I think the half marathon and the full marathon are going to be can be a little bit different. I think the half marathon will be a little bit warmer. I am hoping that it stays to what is showing right now about 36 to 56 on Sunday. So a week from today. And the reason is because, again, your body temperature, your internal body temperature can warm up, and it can heat up to where you're going to feel more comfortable as you run and as you get more comfortable running. It cannot cool down. That is something that you got to do on your own by getting into shade, getting in air conditioning, drinking colder liquids, that kind of stuff. But your body cannot naturally cool itself down if you're out there and you're moving and you're in the hot sun. So, but it can the other way. So I always prefer that we start off cold, and then it goes into higher. You can warm up a little bit, and you'll be fine. But I'm hoping it stays, and I'm guessing it's going to be roughly what it is going to be saying right now. But again, things have changed fast. So keep looking at the websites whenever there's an update. If Disney does have an update, I'll update you guys also. And let's move on. So we talked about packing, and this is the run. Disney runs, actually any kind of run, but especially Disney runs, which they're a little bit different because people will do multiple races. This is a chance that this is where you will pack for anything and everything. So bring your warmer weather, colder weather, bring everything that you can. You're not going to use some of it, but that's okay. So bring stuff that you could possibly use, especially if you have room in your bags. So that's up to you, but I really recommend packing in. Obviously, you're going to pack your cold weather running gear, but maybe when that's going to be a little bit warmer and so forth. So you're going to be able to adjust as needed. So you're going to have your stuff, but plan where it comes up. Where the difference comes is, and somebody actually, I was watching this online, what if I have a costume? And a friend of the channel actually said it perfectly. It's something I was thinking too. Layer underneath. If it's going to be too cold, layer underneath if you can. If not, if it's something that you cannot layer, it depends on you whether you want to. Again, you're going to be able to warm up. But if you can put a blanket on top, make sure that your bib is showing. Throwaway blanket, and then once you start moving, you're going to warm up. During the 5K, it's not going to be as much. During the 10K, more, half and full, of course, more. But pack accordingly. And I just mentioned it, but one of the things that I've been seeing, and it's a great thing to do, for like $2, you can get those blankets at Walmart. And so get those. You're going to run with you can actually start with them. As long as they're not Mylar blanket, they're not going to, and you're going to hear it over and over from the DJs, the MCs. They're going to be telling you don't cross with the Mylar blanket because it can hinder your bib. So the tracker is inside of your bib, or it's on the other side of your bib, and so it can hinder that. And so if it does, it's going to give you that you didn't cross or whatever, even though you did, and you might even have videos and pictures and stuff, but it can hinder that. So don't use a Mylar blanket. Use the other blanket if you can. If you have a Mylar blanket, before you get going, dispose of that. Yes, there's questions been asked, and I'm going to answer them. Yes, because I have been in the back, and if you watch the videos in the back, if you dispose of shirts, blankets, whatever it is, they do pick them up and they do donate them to charity. And that's why I suggested that you get the cheap ones, because I have actually witnessed that, because I've been starting in the back with the Dead Last Starters, with the balloon lady. So I'm walking back there and I can actually see them picking it up, putting them in bags, and then they go and they donate it. So the next thing is going to be your travel, and this is what I suggest that you start doing now, especially if you're going to be traveling within the next few days. There's going to be, especially in the northeast, the north, there might be some snow, some whatever it is. Start planning accordingly. This is what I suggest, and this is what I do. I always try to get as early as in the morning as I can. I try to get the earliest flight that I can get, and I try to get a direct flight. If I can't get a direct flight, I'm going to have one with very limited stops, usually one that's hopefully a little bit early. So when I get to my next destination, the plane is already there because it's the first one in the morning. In other words, you want to get you want to give yourself the best odds to get there without any issues. And I've already seen people that have already started leaving early just because their situation, so they can make sure that they get there. But right now, start looking into weather in your area. And Orlando, it should be fine. You should be able to land and everything, but it's going to be in your area and where your connecting flights are, if you have connecting flights. So start looking at that. So plan accordingly. Change if you need to, so that way you can be there and have fun with the rest of us. So the next thing we're going to cover is bibs and the check-in pass. And as you can see here, this is an old one, but this should come out tomorrow the 6th. And it will be in your Run Disney account. If you are having trouble getting into your Run Disney account, because I've seen it, and again, I know this because I've actually talked to the people that work with Run Disney about this. So what happens is you probably have a second or third email attached to that account, and so it's somewhere there. I've heard of people saying that, because I only have one account, but I've heard of people saying they switched accounts and all of a sudden they can see it. It's there, and that's why I always tell you when you register, click, make sure that you get your you get your shot of when you paid for it, that you're registered, and then if you want to get your bank statement to make sure that you know. Then when you get there with your ID, remember that you're going to need your ID, not somebody else's. You cannot pick up for anybody else, so we'll go over that shortly. But you can go there and you can sign the waiver there, and then with your ID, you can pick up your bib. You can look it up there and they will give you your bib number. With that said, when you get your check-in pass, it'll give you your bib number. The weirdest game that I've seen is, man, we're trying to guess what corral we're going to be in. That's what it does not matter the way I look at it. Again, I've done quite a few miles, so it doesn't matter for this simple reason. And if you look at the digital event guide, they're not going to change it. Even if that said, if you put in a time and you were, let's say, an hour and a half marathoner, and they put you in E, I still would suggest that you go in and talk to them just to make sure. But if they say no, do not get upset, do not get angry. It's not them who did it. They're just basically answering the question. What you're going to do is try to get up, and that's what I've done. I have actually done this in the past. I have to get up to the earlier in my corral, so I try to get there early so I can get up front in my corral, so when I take off, I don't have the hindrance. I can take off real quick, and I can run and be ahead of that pack. And then hopefully the other corrals, basically, they kind of fan out a little bit, so I'm able to go through, and then I'm able to go. But they're not going to change it, so just remember that. The check-in pass comes out tomorrow. It's going to give you your bib, but it's not going to give you your corral until you pick it up on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And remember this, because I know it's going to be asked, can I pick up my husband's, my father's, my mother's, my sister's bib? You cannot. Anybody who is an adult has to pick up their own bib with their own ID. The reason, again, that I tell you this is because again, most people are going to be legit. But once word gets out, then you're going to have those people that are going to come in, they're going to steal bibs, and they're going to try to sell them or run with them. So that's why they don't allow that. If it's a minor, yes, and you are the parent or the guardian, then yes, you can pick it up. You can pick up their bibs. When you register, you put yourself down as a parent or the guardian. I've done it before when I used to take my nephew. I would go and I'd pick up the bib for him. So it was very, very easy. So now we're going to go to the Expo. The Expo, we've already gone over it when we went over the digital event guide, but the virtual queue is the one that's going to have a little bit of problems. Remember, you got to be within a certain radius, and it starts at 8:30 on Wednesday morning, and you can pick up to 6 people. At Disney World, from what I remember, and it might still be this way, all 6 people have to be on your My Disney Experience app to pick them. But we are going to take a quick look on what to look for. From the My Disney Experience app, there's going to be 3 lines at the bottom right. You're going to click on it, and you're going to scroll up until you see Virtual Queue. You're going to click on Virtual Queue. So this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to just go to the top. It's going to say Join Virtual Queue. You're going to see And at this moment in time, it's just going to show me Magic Kingdom and Epcot. This is up today. But these are past ones right here. So you're going to see one like this. It's going to say special events. You're going to click on that, confirm your party. Once you do, you get into it. It's going to give you your group. So once you get called back, you will have a QR code for each one of those people. So if you pick 5 people, so each one will have their QR code. What that also means is that if only 3 of you are there, 2 of you are still in the hotel, the other 3 can go in. You just need to send them their QR code, and when they get there, they can go into the merch part of the expo. So that brings me to the next point: is the virtual queue is only needed the first day of the expo, and it might not be the whole day. As of now, they always say, the way they word it, they can use it for the second, third date if all of a sudden they see that there's going to be a big mad rush of people, then they might use it. But on the most part, they're not. I've never seen them use it, and I have yet to see them. It's been a while since I've seen them use it all the first day. So people that sit there going like, I'm going to get there at 6. Do I still need it? I would still recommend getting it, but there's a chance you're going to walk up there and they're going to say, oh, it's okay. You don't need to. By that time, it should die down. People are going to ask, by that time, is most of the merchandise going to be gone? I don't know. It's one of those that's hard to tell. Probably the best thing to plan on is the popular sizes will not be there. So you'll be stuck with getting a 3XL and an extra small or something like that. So there's going to be some off sizes, something that's popular, something that's limited edition, something that's annual pass holder limited edition. Those are probably going to be gone later the first day, by the second, third, fourth day, whatever it is, but those are going to be gone. But remember, you need the virtual queue to get into the official merchandise place at Run Disney. You do not need that to go get your bib. You need the check-in pass. You can do that to go into the expo itself where the vendors are. You don't need either of the two. Now you do need your bib once you pick up your bib to go into that part. So where the vendors are, in the back side is where you pick up your race shirts. And so you do need your bib to pick them up. You can't just walk up there and say, oh, I have my code. They're going to ask you for your bib to make sure that you get your race shirts that you paid for already when you registered. So now next are the hotels. So every hotel that is on property, and this includes the Swan, the Dolphins, and Shades of Green, all of them are included. They're going to have places for you to be picked up for the expo and all four of the runs. All right, and even the spectators, and they're going to be to and from, and there's going to be, but there are rules. Now, the rules usually, again, you're going to be able to go to the digital event guide and see them. If you don't want to do that, go to the front. If they tell you, oh, we're not doing it, don't listen to them. They are. Look for the frame. There's a frame, and I'll take pictures, and I actually put them on social media, and it gives you all the information from that exact hotel. Is the transportation perfect? On the most part, it's pretty good. Again, I've been doing these for many, many years. I've been staying on property, and on the most part, I've had very, very good transportation stories. Have I had some problems here and there? Yes. Expo seems to be the worst one. The first day of the expo, they seem to get there a little late. That's why, and because I am Club Run Disney, I am going to take a lift, and I will get there earlier anyway, so I can record a little bit, so forth and so on. But if what's it called? If you get to your hotel, you're going to have that information. Just look for the frames. There are usually some A-frames. Those are the ones that fold out. They'll tell you where the run transportation is, and there usually is a pattern or where to go, and it's usually close to the lobby. Now, if you're staying off property, it is worth asking them. Either call them now or talk to them. And I would, even if they said no now, I would ask them there, because it has happened in the past. Very rarely, because I have not stayed off property in a long, long time. But it's worth asking them just in case they do. I just don't see the buses, if that makes sense. I don't see where the buses are when they pick us up afterward. So I don't know if they can. But again, you can take a Lyft and or an Uber, and just make sure you get your arrangements early on. I would, if you're really, really panicking about it and stuff, just make sure that you get it the night before. You can actually schedule it to pick you up, so that way you give yourself a little bit of leeway, just in case there's a little bit of traffic. But that way, and that's your basically your off-property hotels. So second to last thing I'm going to talk about is running etiquette, and gosh, every year I talk about this, and it seems to get better, then it doesn't, and then it seems to get better and it doesn't. Well, you're going to talk about running etiquette. They're going to talk to you about, just running two next to each other. And there's going to be times when you actually should be somebody in front, like when we run through Hollywood Studios at back on the boardwalk back there. There's not a lot of space, so again, adjust accordingly. I understand that you want to run with your family. I understand and stuff, but again, it's not just your race, it's for all these people. They all want to enjoy it. Everybody wants to enjoy it. And the main thing that I've been seeing lately is pictures. And you'll be running and all of a sudden somebody jumps in front of you, or they run right in front of you and they take your spot and stuff. And so my thing that I've always said is, you go in quickly, take a couple of snapshots, move off, already have it in your mind what you're going to do. So go in there, if you're going to jump, and then go off. Make sure, again, you're going to be blocking somebody. When you do this, you're going to probably Wazowski somebody. I like to be Wazowski, but a lot of people don't. And so just make sure that you're careful when you are running, or when you go and take character pictures. And I've seen this before. I've actually seen something, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I've seen a lot of people when they go in there and then they want to pose here and pose there, but then all of a sudden this one and stuff, 15 seconds later they're going, wait, and not another, and it's like, no. To me, my rule is 5 seconds and out, 5 seconds and out. And so 2-3 poses that you have in your head, do them real quick, whatever it is, and then you're going to move on. And that way, and make sure that you show your bib. That's another thing. A lot of people will actually do this, and they stand there, the bib is not showing, then all of a sudden it's not going to come up, and then later on they go, what happened to my pictures? And now it didn't come out because you're not showing your bib. So make sure that you show your bib. Now, one of the things that I've been excited, and I invite you guys to do this if you see me, if all of a sudden I'm in there taking a picture, groups have been coming in, and as a matter of fact, last time I was there, they let me come in, so I started telling people, come on in. So we were taking group pictures, and it's cool because, again, you run Disney friends, you make Disney friends, and you make friends. It is really, really cool experience. I don't mind it myself. So if you see me trying to take a picture and I'm by myself, or you can come in and take pictures, and I like that group dynamic. It's really, really cool. But that's something that I really, really have learned the last few runs, and I think it's really, really cool. And the last thing I want to talk about pictures is the photo pass. A lot of people are panicking. Now, I, as of now, have them all full. So everybody who has photo pass, I have it on my annual pass, you get 5 bibs per race. Now, it's 5 bibs per race. So 5 for the 5K, 5 for the 10K, 5 for the half, 5 for the full. So if you're doing dopey, whatever it is, the dopey counts as 1 per each. The goofy counts as just the half and the full, so it's 1 there and 1 there. But the best thing to do, especially if you don't want to get pictures, or you're not going to the parks, you don't want to get pictures, a lot of people are selling slots, usually for donations to a charity, and they range anywhere between $10 to $20 a slot. And and especially if it's about $10, $15, it's going to be cheaper than buying the memory maker. So especially if you're only doing like 2 runs. And so that's something you can look at. If you do not have a slot, reach out to me, because I know a couple people that are still looking to make donations to their charity. So if you do that, comment down below or reach out to me on social media. I'll hook you guys up together, so that way you can get that slot, and so you can get your pictures. And the last thing I want to say is, you know what, I went over a lot more than I thought I was going to do for this video, but guys, go out there and just enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Everything is an experience. A marathon is a long, long race, especially if you're doing dopey, goofy, or just a marathon. It is a long race. You're going to go through a range of emotions. You're going to be excited at the beginning and tired, because especially if you've done the dopey or the goofy, but you're going to get excited, then you're going to get tired, then you're going to get high, then you're going to see characters, and you're going to do, there's going to be a lot of different emotions. At one point, you're probably going to say, what did I sign up for this? Where's the bus? That kind of stuff. I've done this all myself. Never doing this again. But what I invite you guys to do is soak it all in. If you see me, please chit chat with me. I love interacting with you. It's a distraction, and just keep moving forward. Never look behind. Just keep moving forward. There's always going to be a character. There's always going to be a park that we're going into. There's going to be something to see, something unexpected. So make sure that you keep moving forward. Have fun when you finish. just soak it all in at the very end. Just have that memory of what you did. And then what I want you to do is after each run, especially when I record it and stuff, and you can go back and look at it, comment down below and just talk to me about your experiences. Because one of the things I wanted to start doing this year is basically talking to you guys about your experiences, because everybody's experience is different. And if you look at it, it may not have seemed so good, but now we look back, and I look back at last year. Now I look back at it anyway, but people are starting now to give in and saying like, man, I did the first 7.1 half marathon at Disney World, where last year they were like, man, I can't believe they did this, and so forth and so on. And now they're like, wow, okay, this is funny, because you go through these experiences, and as time goes on, it's so cool that you were part of this experience. You were there, you got to see it, you got to experience it. And so what I suggest to you guys, enjoy it, just have fun, just have, whatever it is, it's gonna be painful. Painful is not an option. You're gonna have pain. Suffering is where you do have that option. So I just suggest, just understand that you're gonna go through pain, but you do not have to suffer. And without further ado, I look forward to seeing you guys this coming week. I will be there since Monday. If you're there at the after party, I'm going to be at Magic Kingdom's after party tomorrow night. Come up and say hello. But you know what, guys? Create a magical day. Create a magical run. And guys, see you sooner than later.